right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Boring Land, Mr. Gabe. Nick here.
Gabe?
He always says Boring Review Nation. He hates Boring Land.
Gotcha. Chris, hi.
You liked how I was all forceful with that. Nick. Well, we are looking at something that has been requested several times. And if I was able to find all those requests, they're on the screen right now. We are looking at what is Hinduism by Cognito. It's a video that the Cognito people have created, a little cartoon it looks like. And it is 17 minutes long, so strap in. But the longer it is, the more information we're going to get from it. Before we get into this video, we are both religious ourselves. We're both part of, the big world of Christianity. And it's something, religion is something that a person is very passionate about if they are part of one. And it's not so much just like part of a religion, like you're part of a company or a group. It's your beliefs. It's what you have banked your beliefs on and how you live your life and how you base your life off of. So it's a very, very personal thing. So as we watch this video, I would just ask in the comment section, please be respectful of Hinduism. If you are not part of that religion, we are not part of it, but we are here to learn, not to mock, not to compare or anything like that. This is not going to be it's a religious video, but it's not going to be a comparison of religions. So please just be respectful in those comments to all of the people out there that practice Hinduism. And since I know very little about Hinduism, I'm excited for this. I'm excited to learn. And don't forget, if you're liking this, go ahead and give us a
thumbs up.
And go ahead, if you're new to the channel,
subscribe.
And if you've been here for a while or you're new and you say, you know what, these guys aren't too bad at Boring Reviews, I want to help them out, go ahead and check out our Patreon. Yes, we've got some new Patrons and we've got some old ones, and they're all helping us out. All their names are right here. Thank you so much for supporting.
Mwah.
Oh, look at that. You got a kiss from Chris.
Look at that.
You didn't think you were going to get that today, didn't you? But with all that being said, let's get into the heart of the matter, as the lead singer of the Eagles said, and check this out.
Nice reference.
Thanks. Don Henley's his name. I couldn't think of it at first.
Nice.
Beginning of my video. Boom!
Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring Land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things. It was over in a snap.
We really want it. Alright, we'll be nice.
Only you can be a Patreon.
Oh my gosh!
That's crazy.
You don't need to follow the show to be hyped.
Hinduism, the religion of over 1 billion people, is the world's oldest religion and probably the most confusing one to non-Hindus. Some say it isn't even a religion, more a way of life. Hindus themselves call it the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal tradition. So, what is Hinduism? Does YOLO apply to them? And who is this elephant guy? Well, let's find out.
Did you say does YOLO apply to them?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Coquito. Or Cogito? Cogito?
Hinduism is the world's oldest
Sorry about
active
that.
religion. It's the result of the merging of the ancient Indus Valley civilization and the nomads that came into India around 1500 BC. Some scholars say it could even go back many more thousands of years. But we won't delve too deep into dates, because dates in Hinduism are very, very controversial. But one thing is certain. Hinduism is old. Like, at least 36 Betty Whites. Hinduism has been around for so long that it and the concept of India itself are inseparable. Hindu and India even come from the same word. Sanskrit was the ancient language of the Hindus, and the Sanskrit name for the Indus River is Sindhu. The ancient Persians who sat across the Indus tended to switch their S's to H's, so Sindhu became Hindu. So the people living across the river became Hindus. The Persians told the Greeks, who dropped that very not Greek-like H, stuck in a very Greek-like E to the end, and boom, India. Hinduism has a long, long history. But today we'll be focusing on just the core beliefs of Hindus because I don't have the willpower to animate a 3-hour-long video. Hindus are a diverse group. Some are strict, dedicating their lives to prayer, while others don't believe in any gods but still follow Hindu philosophy. To make things easier to understand, let's break Hinduism down into 7 core beliefs. So, here's my rap about the 7 Hindu beliefs.
You promised you weren't gonna do the rap. Come on, you're better than this, man.
Fine. Here's the regular version.
No, I want the rap.
1. Belief in one universal soul. Hindus believe in a universal soul known as Brahman, a formless, genderless source of all reality. Brahman is the universe and the material that makes up the universe. It's a trippy concept, but think of Brahman as an ocean and everything else as drops propelling out of that ocean. Separate for a time, but still the same thing, if that makes sense. 2. Belief in an immortal individual soul. In Hinduism, souls are known as Atman. Actions of the soul while in a body have effects on that soul's next life. When you die, your soul moves to another new body. This is called transmigration. The kind of body the soul inhabits next is determined by karma. 3. Belief in karma. Karma is action, usually good or bad actions that affect society. For Hindus, karmic actions in the past affect us today, and our actions today affect our soul's future. 4. Belief in moksha. The goal in Hindu life is to somehow get back to Brahman. If a Hindu can do this, they will be freed from the cycle of life and death. This is called moksha. You can achieve moksha by realizing your oneness with Brahman. How you realize this is up to you. For this reason, Hindus pray, "Lead me from the unreal to the real." 5. Belief in the Vedas. The Vedas are Hindu sacred books of knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. Hindus believe that all 4 were divinely revealed to ancient Hindu sages. We'll take a closer look at the Vedas in a while. 6. Belief in cyclical time. For Hindus, there are no beginnings or endings. Time is a series of cycles, each cycle containing 4 ages or yugas. There's the Krita, the Treta, the Dwapara, and the Kali. Added together, the 4 yugas total about 4.32 million years. At the end of each cycle, declining human morality leads to the total destruction of reality. Hindus believe that we are in the 4th and final yug, Kali. 7. Belief in Dharma. Dharma is a difficult word to translate to English. Proper behavior is the best that I could come up with. Dharma maintains balance in the universe. As long as everything in the universe, like animals, plants, and humans, follow their Dharma, then everything will be fine. If they break from the Dharma, though, things will be super not fine. Each being has its own Dharma. A lion's Dharma is to kill and eat antelope. A king's Dharma is to rule well. A subscriber's Dharma is to smash the like button and ring the notification bell. For humans, their specific Dharma is usually based on their age and their caste. An old priest will have a very different Dharma than a young merchant, for example. So those are the 7 core beliefs of Hinduism. With them, you can understand the Hindu mindset. Unlike Christianity or Islam, Hinduism is a non-profit organization. There is no Jesus or Muhammad for Hindus. There is no Bible, Quran, or Torah. Instead, they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of different sacred texts. The 4 Vedas form the basis of the Hindu faith. So let's take a look at them. 1. The Rig Veda. The Rig Veda is a collection of songs that praise and discuss ideas like truth, reality, and the universe, along with discussions on war, weddings, and rituals. 2. The Yajur Veda. The Yajur Veda covers stuff such as sacrificial rites and rituals. 3. The Sama Veda. Sama literally means sweet song that destroys sorrow. It is mostly songs dedicated to praising gods. It's different than the rest of the Vedas because it's set to music. 4. The Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda is my favorite one. Do you want to curse your enemies? Or charm that special someone? Maybe learn to invoke rain? Or discover herbal medicine along with tips on warfare? Like how to make poison arrows? Well, this Veda has you covered, along with a bunch of other charms and curses. It even has a curse against cursers. Avoid us, O curse, as the burning fire avoids a lake. Strike him here that curses us, as the lightning of heaven the tree. A link to the Atharva Veda is in the description, just in case you need a spell to get a wife or another to banish pigeons from your presence. It's great. After the Vedas come the Upanishads, which are like a sequel that makes the original make much more sense. They were probably written down between 800 BC and 500 BC, during a time when some Hindus started to question the Vedas. Their ideas became the Upanishads. The Upanishads are books on philosophy, like we would expect from Plato or Aristotle. They're all about questioning, doubt, debate, and finding the answers to life's difficult questions. A theme in the Upanishads is that people are not their minds, or bodies, or egos, but their Atman. Your soul is you. Everything else is unreal and temporary. After the holy texts like the Vedas and the Upanishads are other less divine but still important texts. These include stuff like the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Puranas are like encyclopedias of Hindu beliefs. There are 18 well-known Puranas. The Puranas cover things from yoga, to army organization, to taxation, to the caste system, to hell, gods, and everything in between. The Bhagavad Gita, Gita for short, is one of Hinduism's most important texts. The Gita takes place on a battlefield where Arjuna, a great warrior, refuses to fight. Lord Krishna steps in to urge Arjuna to fight, and their discussion covers things such as Dharma and how to live your best life. Arjuna eventually fought after Lord Krishna taught him the truth about Dharma. As a member of the warrior caste, Arjuna's Dharma was to fight against evil. The lesson of the Gita is that everyone faces difficult choices, but they must act on them according to their Dharma, no matter how unpleasant. Along with all these philosophical texts, Hinduism has two action-packed epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Ramayana, the earlier of the two texts, tells the story of Prince Rama. In the epic, you find out about his 14-year-long exile, the abduction of his wife Sita, his battle with the evil demon Ravana, and his awesome monkey sidekick Hanuman.
Yes.
The second epic, the Mahabharata, is the longest poem in the world. 5 times the length of the Bible and 8 times the length of the Iliad and Odyssey combined. It rivals any soap opera you've ever seen when it comes to drama. Murder, betrayal, love murder, and giant battles. The Mahabharata has it all. The theme running through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata is that Dharma must be followed for society to function. In Hinduism, there are 4 goals a person should aim for to have a good life. The first of these is Dharma, followed by Artha, the pursuit of prosperity and good reputation, Kama, pleasure both in body and in mind, and Moksha, the release from the cycles of rebirth. Hindus should practice Artha and Kama with Dharma in order to achieve Moksha. There are also 6 temptations Hindus should try and avoid. Kama, lust and materialism. This Kama is different from the good Kama mentioned above, I know. Next is Kruda, which is anger, Lobha, which is greed, Moha, which is unrealistic attachment to things, people and power, Mada, which is pride, and Matsarya, which is jealousy. By following their Dharma and avoiding these 6 temptations, a Hindu can break the cycle of rebirth and have their soul merge back into Brahman. But even though everything comes from Brahman, who is the one real thing in Hinduism, Hindus do, after all, have thousands of gods. So let's take a look at them. First, there's Brahma, the creator. He created everything in the universe, but he is not the universe itself, because that's Brahman. They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently. He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent the 4 Vedas, which he created, and the 4 yugs. He also holds a book, which represents knowledge. Oh, and he rides a giant swan because he's just fancy. His consort is Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Vishnu the Preserver is the second member of the Hindu Trinity. He preserves the world created by Brahma until it is eventually destroyed by Shiva. He holds a discus which he uses to cut down anyone that tries to mess with his Dharma, along with a conch which symbolizes victory and the 5 elements. Vishnu has many avatars, such as Krishna or Rama, who he uses to defend Dharma on earth. Oh, and he rides a giant eagle named Garuda. Vishnu has 2 consorts, the goddess Lakshmi and Bhudevi. Bhudevi is the earth goddess and Lakshmi is the goddess of good fortune and wealth. Next is Shiva the Destroyer, the 3rd member of the Hindu Trinity. It's his job to destroy the universe in order to prepare for its renewal at the end of each cycle of time. The most identifiable of his features is his 3rd eye, which he almost always keeps closed. If he does open it and you're in front of him, then you will have your face melted off. When not on making existence, Shiva enjoys long walks with his bull named Nandi. At the end of the Kali Yuga, the 4th age of the world, Shiva will perform a dance that destroys the universe. Which is odd because people have told me that my dance moves make them wish the world would end. So me and Shiva have quite a lot in common. Parvati and Sati are Shiva's consorts. Shiva also has two sons, Ganesha and Murugan. Ganesha is worshipped as the remover of obstacles, and Murugan is the god of war. Ganesha holds a very special place in the heart of Hindus, due to him being the remover of obstacles. The elephant head is the most obvious clue to identifying him. He was actually born with a human head, but after Shiva cut that one off, he kind of had to make do with an elephant one. If you're Christian or Muslim, you're aware that your religion has a bunch of different denominations, like Catholics or Protestants, Sunni and Shia. Hinduism has these too. Hindus developed 4 major denominations, some of which have their own subdivisions. The Vaishnavas primarily worship Vishnu, and Shaivas primarily worship Shiva and his sons. Smartas follow sacred texts like the Puranas, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata rather than the Vedas. They worship 5 gods and goddesses, Ganesha, Durga, Surya, Shiva, and a preferred avatar of Vishnu. Finally, Shaktas worship the goddess Devi. Shaktas see Devi as the ultimate and eternal reality, like a feminine Brahman. Even though there are all these variations and more, the core beliefs of Hindus remain mostly the same. Hindus believe that Dharma keeps the balance in the universe. If the scales between good and evil start tipping towards evil, then something needs to intervene to fix the universe's Dharma. This divine intervention is known as an avatar. The literal meaning of the word avatar is descent. Avatars are gods that descend to Earth to intervene whenever help is needed to restore Dharma. For example, when the Earth was dragged underneath the ocean, Vishnu descended to Earth as the avatar Varaha, a boar, and dragged the Earth back out. In other cases, Vishnu was born on Earth as a human avatar like Rama or Krishna, where he spent his avatar's life fixing Dharma. So, the caste system. If you only know one thing about Hinduism, this is probably it. People see it as an oppressive system that locks people in place based on their birth. And for a huge part of history, that's what it's been, unfortunately. Let's do a quick explanation of what the caste system is. In Hinduism, there are 4 castes or classes that you can be born into. There's the Brahmin, the priest, the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the Vaishyas, the traders, and the Shudras, the manual labourers. The main basis for the caste system can be found in the Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Veda. Krishna says in the Gita, "I have created a 4-fold system in order to distinguish among one's qualities and functions." The Rig Veda also refers to the 4 castes. It says humans were created from parts of the god Purusha, the Brahmin from his face, the Kshatriya from his arms, the Vaishya his thighs, and the Shudra his feet. This system was supposed to assign people functions based on their abilities, not their birth. If someone had the qualities of a Brahmin or a Vaishya, they could fill those roles. The Gita didn't restrict movement among castes, and the caste system functioned as intended for a while, until a document known as the Laws of Manu came about around the 5th century BC, popularly referred to as the Manu Smriti. They created hard rules for Hindu life. 2 rules presented in it contributed to the way the caste system turned out. Manu states that the Brahmin were the lords of all castes, and he forbid moving among the castes. The caste you were born into was now the caste you're stuck in. If you give humans a hierarchy, they'll exploit it, and things will go sour pretty quickly. As time passed, Hindus began thinking in terms of upper and lower castes. Soon, cleaning toilets, tanning leather, and dealing with meat products were thought to be impure. The people doing those jobs became untouchables, the lowest of the low, a people without caste. And the rest is history. The modern world has brought many changes though. Now Hindus mix freely while working together in the same businesses, attending the same schools, and generally just living together. But when it comes to marriage, many Hindus still stick to their own caste. But this too is changing, and on Hindu dating websites you can actually see people list a non-preference for caste. It'll say caste no bar. So those are the basics of Hinduism. It isn't even close to covering everything. One video simply can't do it. Hinduism is too diverse, too deep, and means too many different things to different people. But learning even the basics of this fascinating and ancient religion gives us an insight into the worldview of over 1 billion people. And I hope you enjoyed it. You can find all the sources used in the description below.
Okay, well, first, what I want to say is sorry for getting your name wrong on that channel, Cogito. He did a fantastic job. I'm watching this 17-minute video, and I'm almost 18 minutes, and thinking to myself, all this animation he's done, all this work he's put into it, not to mention the research and how eloquently he's spoken. I mean, that was a fantastic job. So if you enjoyed that, go check out his channel, subscribe to him, throw him some love. But man, that was impressive. The other thing I want to say before you share your thoughts is when they were talking about the castes in Hinduism, it reminded me a lot when they talk about the Untouchables of the series Divergent. Obviously, the author of that series took a whole lot of inspiration, or maybe even stole the ideas of the different systems from Hinduism or from the caste system at different places in the world, because there's a group of people who are looked as untouchable. They cannot inhabitate around the other people, and there's 4 different groups. And so that was my connection there. What were your thoughts about Hinduism and this video we learned about?
I mean, personally, I just kept on, I like to see patterns in things, and so I kept on seeing similarities between things that I believe in and things that are Hindu ideology, belief system. For example, they were talking about, and I don't know if this is too much, but they were talking about how there was the different castes of people made from Brahma, and for a Christian, it reminds me of the body of Christ, where we all have, some are the hands, some are the feet. We all have a role to fulfill as Christians, and we shouldn't be envious of what the right hand gets to do versus what the left hand gets to do. And so that kind of also struck me with the whole Dharma thing, which, because before I had heard about the caste system before, and like most people, I would say, who were foreign to the idea, it seemed really oppressive. It seemed really kind of messed up. But I can see where it is now. I mean, to me, at least now, it's more of a, not everybody can be. It's just like in life, not everyone can be a rock star, right? That's just not the life for everybody. The world would fail to exist if we were all just rock stars. There'd be nobody building anything. There wouldn't be anybody coming up with their ideas, anyone cooking. Everyone has their role to fill. And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, the thing that I really like, you're talking about comparing. I know I said at the beginning of the video we're not going to compare, but we're going to do it in a respectful way. I really related to when they were talking about the soul, how every person has a soul, and then everything else, whether it's the body, the organs, the thoughts, all that kind of stuff, everything else is just extras. And I completely agree with that. I completely believe in that. And when we're talking to other people about the beliefs we have, we liken it to like your hand is your soul. When you put on that glove, which is the body, the soul is what's moving the glove. Once you take the glove off, it's pointless. It's not going to do anything on its own. Eventually, our bodies are going to deteriorate. Mortality is going to get the better of us, and they're going to die. But our essence, our soul, is still going to be around. So I really like that. Fascinated that this is considered the oldest religion to date. That is fascinating. It's something that when you want to believe in something, when you attach your lifelong beliefs to something, you want to attach it to something that's been around the longest. And so, I mean, mad respect there. I respect anyone that believes in something. Even people who might even be atheists, if they hold to that beliefs, that's how they feel. I respect that because everyone has a right to choose what they want to choose. But I learned a whole bunch about this. I was happy that a lot of the names I was familiar with, especially with some of the Indian films I've been watching. But I didn't know how they fit and where they went. And so it's just really cool. The thing that really interests me the most, besides a few movie references like The Godfather, how the second one does go back into Vito's life and explain stuff, I like that reference. The thing I really liked was how they had added to those, what they call them, the Vedas. They added the stories to that to give more information. The Vedas, thank you. And for me, that would be what I would lean upon. What are the mythologies, so to speak? What are the stories that we are going to shape our lives towards? That would be really cool to learn about if I was a Hindu.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really give too much. I don't think I gave too much emotion or facial expression when I was watching that. And that was because I was really interested in what I was hearing. I like the eloquent breakdown that Cogito gave of the Hindu religion. And like he said, it's super, it's super brief, and it's a big overview of something that's massive. But I was really enjoying, like I said, I like to see patterns, and I always find it neat when I get to see something, things that I believe, and how what somebody else believes, how really there's more similarities than there's not. I mean, the details may be different, but the overall concept is still very true. Like going back to the soul being internal and immortal. We believe that as well. Yeah, that was neat.
That is why RJ calls him the genius of the group, and I completely agree.
Maybe.
But that, honestly, that was awesome. Everything we react to for the most part is awesome, but I love learning, and I love learning about religions. When I was a missionary, one of the most exciting things, interesting thing was to learn about different people's beliefs, and you get out of your bubble, so to speak, and you learn and you get to know other people. So that was great. I can very confidently say we're going to check out another one of these versions of these videos, maybe Buddhism or other religions. I saw the Buddhism as one of those. But thanks so much for requesting this. And if I did not find your requests, it's because it was a long time ago. I apologize, but it's because whoever you are that requested that we did this video, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like this video, and give us some more information, maybe some things that we missed, maybe some other videos that would help us to learn more. But with all that being said, until next time.
Take care.